Hello, hello, and welcome, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love GPS reading for August 2020 or timeless. You know, I have to remember everybody's at different places on the path, even within a zodiacal sign. So if you're watching this when you watch this, that's when you're supposed to watch it. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, and fellow Earth sign. Hello, my Taurians. The Earth signs, we're the only sane ones. We're the only stable ones. Come on. It's a good thing we've got our own, quarter of things going on, my subscribers. Thank you so very much for your love and support. Us Earth signs really have to stick together. So I really great, big, huge appreciate you, subscribing to the channel, liking the vids, the comments, the feedback. All of it has just been really very helpful and encouraging, keeping me moving forward on my YouTube journey. And I know we overuse that word journey, but for me it really has been. It's been a hero's journey, an artist's journey, blah, 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 blah. Thank you. If you're new to my channel, however, please do consider joining along. I'm the fun one. I've been doing this since I'm 12. In a month, I will be 52 years old. Do the math. I know I don't look it. Thank you very much. But if you want those secrets, you better follow along. Otherwise, let's get down to business, shall we? This is a general read, right? It's general, but it's timeless. Please take what resonates, leave what does not. What does your body say? Forget what your mind or your heart says about what comes out of my mouth here when these cards at the table. How does it feel viscerally in your body? That's going to be your best way to really sort out what is right for you and what doesn't. And just because something triggers doesn't mean it's not true. Right? It just happens that way. Being a professional reader, you learn to cope with that. But it is a GPS read in the sense that we're going to be using a Celtic cross spread with some extra cards thrown in, an augmented Celtic cross spread, to sort of look down like GPS and see where you are and your trajectory. That's so that you can make changes, right? So just like a GPS, it tells you where you are, you tell it where you want to go. In this case, I'll be doing it for you. And it shows you a route, not the only route, but usually with my pantheons, it is the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, and wise, but that don't mean it's easy, right? For the greater development of your soul, not so much the comfort and ease of your ego. I didn't write the rules. I wouldn't have written that rule, and if I did, I'm sorry, I don't remember doing it. So shall we dive in? All you have to do is breathe, stay in the present moment. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. This is why I always do Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for the relationship stuff in particular. So we're going to start off with, without jumping right into the Celtic cross, we're going to get two cards, sort of as like focal cards. We're going to get A Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue to get us started. What is the angel that is walking with you, right? Overlighting the path for you, a couple of steps ahead for the Path of True Love, August 2020 or timeless. Take a nice deep breath. All the decks that I read are in the description box at the very, very bottom, as well as there are a whole lot of links. I just updated the description box. So there are some really good videos in there about the spiritual path in terms of relationship and love and romance and twin flames and soulmates. And this is about you. Path of True Love is your path. Anybody else on it, they're just characters, right? Just like you're just characters on theirs. Your healing path, your growth path, your hero's journey through your relationships of all kinds, not just sexual, romantic, but let's see what hits the table. Breathe. Okay, there we are. Just as the hurricane winds start to come. Yeah, I'm on Long Island doing this on Tuesday, where the hurricane's coming apparently. Breathe. Ground. There we go. My angels and archangels. Please, can I get one card in clarity for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the Path of True Love, August 2020 or timeless? What is the healing angel that walks with them, that guides them, that guards them, that directs them on the Path of True Love for August 2020 or timeless whenever they're watching it? Excellent. The angels of support, right? So, I mean, this is such a classic picture. I've seen this all over the place, right? And it's funny because they look like angels goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves all involved, kind of, sort of. Like my pantheons, that's not really what they look like to me. There's a lot more Donna Karen and Calvin Klein involved with my ascended masters. Apparently, they like to look sharp. It's higher dimensional energy. They can do whatever they want. But that thing of that, they've got your back, right? Taurians, how many of you have been there for everybody else, right? Being the rock, you're my rock. You're not the winds beneath my wings. You're the rock to which I cling in harsh weather. Thanks, right? Like I said, we are the earth signs. So that you're getting the support that you need, certainly in spirit. That's true for all of us. We are all one, ultimately, in unity consciousness. But this feels very, very specifically about manifesting in your life as well. Oh, it would make sense for Earth sign that you're going to be experiencing this support more from family and friends, perhaps. This does feel tribal. This does feel, even if it's not genetic, family, friends. And of course, it's going to play itself out differently across the quantum spectrum of Taurians for a whole month. Breathe. Yeah, we're going right to the healing mantra deck. What is the healing mantra that will be most helpful for you on the path of true love for August 2020 or timeless? And I like doing these two cards first now. The guides change it up every time so that we'll really be able to refer back to it throughout the Celtic cross. Breathe. And my ascended masters of true love. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, hi, hi. Please, one card in clarity. What is the perfect healing mantra for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love, August 2020 or timeless? We've got the angels really talking about multi-dimensional support, including third dimensional, right? Including fourth dimensional, right? The friends, the family, the tribes, and should it be lovers for them as well? Blessed be that everything is really being supported for them. They're learning, their health, their growth, them in particular, though that's true for all of us. So what is the healing mantra that they can really work with this on the path of true love this August 2020 or timeless? You just don't want to leave one in my hand because it's not the right one. Is this the one? This is the one. Expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. Oh, we had one stuck under the book. That's okay. That was the Aries card. Expand, right? Expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. Now, that's the thing. You might be wanting to make one big grandiose choice, right? It's just like glow like, I was going to say 42nd Street. Things have changed. Like the lights on Broadway, right? Just like let all of your light out at once. A lot of people think that it's one great mystical, grandiose experience where really it's moment by moment by moment. My choices determine how brightly I shine on the path of true love really is about being your best, but it's sort of like drop by drop by drop by drop by drop, consistently done. And that's a place for Taurian obstinance to come into play. Being obstinate isn't all negative. It's determination. It's single-pointed focus. I learned from the Ashaya monks way back in the 90s and the early 2000s. But that as well can be obsessive. So you see the quality of that. So if you can break that down step by step through expressing your free will, I think you'll find this path of true love a fulfilling one. When free will is expressed, the quality of your experiences is based not on the actions of others, but on how wisely and lovingly each moment is viewed. So that right there, you can start on the mental plane, right? Like, okay, no matter what they do, it's all about how I view this, and that's not new. I mean, that's practically scriptural, right? Well, that is. It doesn't match the unconsciousness of others to fight or have the final word, Taurus. Instead, free will conveys the brightness of your soul through the sum of your words and actions, even when responding to those who aren't acting their best. And I have to tell you, particularly in those circumstances when you really, it's the mantra, you're like, all right, my choices determine how brightly I shine. My choices determine how brightly I shine. But you can get really high off of that. I mean, not the mantra necessarily, but the mantra leads you into that place of really shining, of really just like sitting and listening to somebody, really giving them the love, knowing that you don't have to agree with the word that they're saying. but you walk away from it with this kind of like crown chakra buzz, right? It's really true. This mantra, like when you do something nice for somebody, like, okay, the master's like, yeah, absolutely. When you hold a door open for somebody and you just get that little buzz afterwards, it's not why you're doing it, but there is that payoff. This mantra is ideal for overcoming feelings of disempowerment, if that's been going on, fulfilling personal goals, right? So this, it's not wholly sacrificial, and becoming more ambitious. Not that sacrificial means anything other than making things sacred. So maybe this could be part of your Taurian sacred ambition. I am going to, choice by choice, determine how brightly I shine, right? My choices determine how brightly I shine. Rock and roll. Let's get your tarot on the table, and then we'll finish with one card, a voice from your higher self. Take a nice deep breath. With the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Please, my gods and goddesses sacred. Celtic cross spread, 10 cards. I will call them one at a time, please, for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for August 2020 are timeless. Where are they? What is their current trajectory? It's a GPS reading. Show me where they are, how they're doing, where they're headed, all of that. Where they've been on the path of true love, August 2020, Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Please show me. What is the card that covers them on the path of true love for August 2020 or timeless? What crosses them? No. Send it around again, please. What crosses them on the path of being a little stubborn for you? That's the one. What is at the core of the path for them? What's going on at their core? Their core stuff going on there. Ooh, ears just started to ring like air pressure shift. Well, there's also a hurricane coming. Oh, I can't believe I did a Golden Girl reference. FML. Okay. What's behind them? The Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What is behind them? Where are they coming from, you could say, on the path of true love? That one. What's crowning them? What's coming into being, coming into their awareness, their experience, perhaps even as this reading is going on? And what is before them on the path? Like sort of more future connected to what's going on. What is their lesson on the path of true love, August 2020 or timeless? Such an important card. What is it that the gods are trying to teach them? From the outside looking in, how does the world see them on the path of true love or see their path of true love? Where are they in terms of fate and destiny, hopes and fears? The hero's journey, the alchemical journey aspect of the path of true love for them. Damn it. August 2020. Please just leave one card in the hand. Just the one. Yes, thank you. Humidity. What are you gonna do? And turn on the air conditioner, but then you can't hear me. And my gods and goddesses, please, the most probable outcome considering their current trajectory that can be changed if necessary, for the path of true love, August 2020 or timeless, Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. We are done. All right, I know it takes a while, but it's worth pulling one at a time instead of, I like doing top 10 sometimes, but when you're doing repeated readings, you see repeated cards. I just find this better. So the card that covers you is the Taurus card, I tell ya, right? Literally the mother of pentacles, Taurus, the great corn mother, the feeder, the nurturer, akin to Demeter, the only goddess that sits, the only really deity that sits in the throne of Taurus for me, right? That fixed earth. So this represents you. You are yourself in this reading. And that, I mean, it's rare. It's not unbelievable odds that your own zodiac sign would appear in the first position, but I would say it's auspicious. It's saying that really, just like a Path of True Love reading is, this is about you first and foremost. You loving yourself, you healing yourself, you taking your own journey here. So what's crossing you you on the path is the Lovers. Okay, so I think right there we can really look at that. There is a major decision about love on the plate here for you, maybe between two different people, maybe between loving yourself and loving them, right? Finding the balance of that, who you want to be in all of this. I mean, the Lover's card, everybody's like, it's true love. No, it's a life-changing decision, which true love is certainly, but we're going to see how else this plays out. Well, they're also saying expressing free will, right? So that there's literally a choice, but I would say bigger than a choice. The difference between a choice and a decision is intensity. Coffee, tea, or milk is a choice, right? Macchiato, latte, or cappuccino, you're all going to get the same biological effect pretty much, decimal point here, movement here or there. But a decision is life-changing, right? I'm going to grow my own beans and I'm moving to Peru, or whatever. This is a life-changing decision. So that's why, again, I'm going to say here that's the little choices right now that you're doing around that, right? Not to be so detail-oriented about it, but you are being supported here. So maybe really look to your life values, right? Second house, Taurus, prosperity, abundance, blah, 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 but also your bedrock life values. What is the most important to you? And I think this time that we've been going through as a society in 2020, you might have a little bit more of a handle on what's really important to you than anybody else. No one else can really tell you what's really important to you. Speaking of the core, right? What's going on at the core? And you've got your second major arcana card, and it is the card of the Coyote Woman. Now, the Coyote Woman is the trickster. Would be half of the Devil card that you would see in a traditional tarot. This is a matriarchal deck, so they don't use that much patriarchal symbolism, if any, that I've overtly noticed. I haven't overtly noticed in this deck. I love Fiona Morgan. I love this deck. But really, perhaps this is self-sabotage. This is you chasing your own tail. Not just overthinking. That would play itself out in a sword card, and we'll see if that hits the table or has hit the table. But more of that thing of, again, making a decision. If I were to link this to the saboteur archetype, which everybody has, the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute are the four survival archetypes. Read Caroline Myss. Don't come for me. MYSS, right? Everybody's got those four. Then this is about a decision of empowerment or disempowerment. So, yes, there is probably a sabotorial pattern. Remember, this is about you. This is something that only you can make the choice or the decision to heal this. Now, here's the funny thing. The coyote, they haven't showed me this image in a really long time, a dog chasing its tail. Right? Did you ever see? I mean, it's so hysterically funny. I mean, it's almost as funny as, like, the red dot making the cats. Like, I don't do that anymore. My boys are witch cats. Where'd the car go? They go, cargo beep beep, witch. But, what happens if the dog actually catches its tail? Right? So all of that running and chomp, you hurt yourself, right? So that's a decision. That's a decision, not a choice to keep doing that, but not so very easily the thing to do. It also to keep in mind, this can be something that you just have to go through inside of yourself. Part of the hero's journey. What is the hero's journey without a trickster? Now remember, a trickster is not always a villain. You want to talk Ascended Masters? Saint Germain, notorious for telling people to shave their heads and dye them bald. Right? Yeah, turn Alcatraz into a world healing palace of light. And then when it doesn't work, because it wasn't written, and you turn to him and you go, why did you tell me to do that? He goes, well, who told you to listen to me? Follow your own damn intuition, right? Follow your own, right? And so there are tricks along the way. The gods play tricks. Of course they do. I mean, come on. Golden fleeces and holy grails and all that stuff. Come on, it's all about journeys of empowerment. You gotta have your tricksters along the way. They make it fun. Hermes is a lot of fun on a hero's journey. Just you never know what face he's wearing. Sort of like Reverse Flash. Nothing like a DC Comics reference. What you left behind you, though, is literally what you left behind you. You're walking away from something, or at least have intense dissatisfaction. Although I would make that more of the Four of Cups than the Eight of Cups. My gods are saying here, the Eight of Cups, withdrawal. Now, I don't always see this card so much as walking away so much as walking in, like walking within yourself, like hermitage, sort of like the major arcana version of this would certainly be the hermit in my opinion, but for emotional reasons, right? Emotional causes, to go within the self, to reflect, and to reflect upon what? Well, who am I? Right? Because you've got this, and you're totally supported in this, right? And so you're really trying to make these, the best way through for you, Taurus, I'm just going to say, though you love to charge ahead, is really one hoof, almost Capricorn-it, right? Billy goat, mountain goat, one hoof at a time, climbing up, that your choices determine how brightly you shine. You might feel like you've been disempowered here and you need to get your wattage up again, I guess is a weird way to say it. What's crowning you? Victory. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Seven of Flames in this deck. Usually you see it as the Six of Wands. The Seven of Flames here is galloping on cooling lava in the same direction, right? So even under the surface, behind the scenes, things are moving in your favor, very much akin to that card of support. So, do you want to overanalyze every single synchronicity that happens to you? Maybe, maybe not. But if you can just take it in the moment, it's like, okay, playing the game, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, you know what I mean? This feels good. This feels really, really lovely for a path of true love. I get the coyote thing here, but that can also be sabotorial thoughts. And there's nothing wrong with not having 100% jump off a cliff faith in absolutely every step along the way. We're supposed to doubt, right? So even if it's that sort of self-sabotage kind of chewing away at you, just remember the ego is fighting for its life, but it's going to unravel and dissolve eventually and be absorbed into the soul, getting everything it wants on a heart level. That's the journey. That's really the hero's journey, is the evolution of the soul. All right, very interesting card, though. It comes for you. What's before you on the path is the Five of Blades. Now, in this deck, the Hurricane. I pulled this for myself yesterday, and the Hurricane's coming. Oh, damn it, I Golden Girled myself again. Long story. Not my favorite show. I know, don't drag me. I have reasons. If you knew the stories behind it, you'd know why. But the Hurricane is certainly, if one breath is a thought, what's a hurricane? Changing thoughts, changing minds, but often cacophonous. What a great word. A cacophony of thought, your own, other people's. So this could really take the conflict to the mental field, as it were. A lot of overthinking, a lot of other people's opinions. And remember, there is such a thing as the well-meaning toxicity of others, right? But I care about you. I'm like, just jab me with an ice pick in the third eye, then why don't you? Because they're giving you their fears for you. I'm not worried. I'm just concerned. I'm like, same thing, Mom. Take it down a notch, right? So where is the safest place to be in a hurricane? In the eye of the storm, metaphorically speaking. Don't actually charge into. You never know on YouTube what people are going to do, I suppose. But, be wise, be safe. But it feels like this decision that you are faced with, it's not although there is victory for you, I'm going to say this is what's crowned. There's a crowning victory for you moving forward here in terms of your desire. But it almost leads to like more mental spinning and thinking, and I can't believe you did that, and how could you, or wow, oh my God, I wish I was. So you know what I mean? Other people, they're just going to get a lot. It's like that static on the channel, but tumultuous. I'm feeling the tumult on that. And your earth signs, we don't need that. Well, our soul does, but we'd rather not. So it feels like you take some steps forward and then go right back into the mental cacophony of it all. Again, I'm hearing, like, if you really I'm not saying you're a gossip, but you need to share this with people in total confidence. Like a therapeutic situation. I'm not saying you need counseling here, but I'm getting a lot of people on this Five of Blades, everybody kind of putting in their 2 cents, and at the end of the day, my choices determine how brightly I shine, and you really can't blame it. Well, they told me to. It's your choice. What's your lesson here? This should be a hot one. Well, your lesson here is the Ten of Flames, and in this this deck, it's not about overwhelm. It's about the Hora Hava, Nagila Hava, only done at bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and Jewish weddings. I've been to all three of those things. I had a field day, but I'm a Dionysus archetype. Yep, let's dance in a circle and drink. I'm just good at a party. Doesn't matter. I'm just fun. I'm the fun one. I mean, come on, look what I'm wearing. Oh, thank you, Meow Meow Dollface and Mal Flanders, for the jacket, the coat, whatever it is. It's apparently what did they say? Silk velvet. It's lovely. I just got to say, where else am I going to wear it though? Here on YouTube. So there is, you are learning how to close the deal on this one. Learning how to get that 10 of flames, that completion of desire to manifest what you want. And really, if you're crowning at the 7. A little pregnancy sounding. Your lesson is teaching you or being taught how to get to the 10 of flames. Now, if you're still in this withdrawal, and a lot of us are, just because of 2020, then really deal with this, because this could be about really you seeing, regardless of what anybody else says, what it is that you want. This could not just be about you learning about that you are supported, but that your choices are bringing you to manifest your destiny. 2 cards from now, we'll get a closer look at that. But this really does feel like closing the deal, right? Like getting what you want. Hava, Nebula Hava. It's like a celebration kind of card that, it's supposed to leave you a little overwhelmed afterwards. You're dancing, you're singing, you're moving with the groove, and play that funky music, white boy. Is that Casey in the Sunshine Band? What are you doing up there? Hermes. I probably shouldn't point his face directly at the back of my head, but, I love him though. Perfect love and perfect trust. From the outside looking in, how the world sees your path is the moon. Makes no sense, right? Makes no sense. Too many mysteries. Like a lot of people in this situation would probably ignore what's going on here, because it's so clouded. There are too many variables going on here, which is why maybe even you are not trusting your own intuition. And yet, on the path of true love, I have to tell you, it's not so much about listening to your heart, right? One would think, let me listen to my emotions on the path of true love. Well, follow your heart, but don't follow your heart if you're a psychopath, right? No offense to psychopaths, mind you. Everybody's got their cross to bear. But, when you're seething, not a good time to follow your heart, right? When it's filled with wrath. No. Sit down, Margaret. Have yourself a cup of tea, right? Say a mantra, right? My choices determine how brightly I shine. My choices determine how brightly I shine. But then you go through the emotion into the intuition, really feeling lower 3 chakras. Now, when your solar plexus is thumping, like, that's really where we feel anger and rage. You love that, give that a voice, but don't act on that. You're looking for that deeper, more subtle or what feels right, what feels solid, what's in alignment with your soul's high wisdom and reality, your true integrity. Because from the outside looking in, I don't know that you're going to be able to get much help from people, because they don't understand it either, or their own, where they are, right? But that's okay. Your destiny comes from being the learner. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The 8 of Pentacles here really is saying that your highest destiny is best achieved right now by just being the learner, knowing that you don't know, and allow perhaps somebody who knows how to walk the moon path, right? The card of the moon really says to me, it's not that you're blind. It's not that you're, have no guidance and grace. It's just the usual clarity we go by. More intellectual understanding isn't there. So you have to kind of go step by step, perhaps slowly, that when the moon is full and you're standing at the side of the ocean, you see the path, right? That silver path of light comes right under your feet no matter where you are. This is one of those times. We just had full moon yesterday, but from the outside looking in, you have to feel your way through. You can't think your way through. And this is saying, and you're learning through experience, right? That if you want to look at how do you alchemize your lead to gold, where are you on the hero's journey of the path of true love? It's being the learner. So can you accept that? Can you take the grace of humility, for example? The grace of humility, grant me the maiden grace of humility to know that I do not know when I do not know, because I don't. I mean, that's, you know, people are like, oh, Mark, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. I'm like, yeah, well, I just talk about what they show me, right? Like, I know that I don't know. That's what keeps you from becoming a cult leader, right? It keeps you from drinking your own Kool-Aid, right? It's like, no, know your role. Know your role and slow your roll. Oh, stitch it on a pillow, Grandma, throw it on the couch. Your outcome, Ace of Cups. All right, so all's well that ends well, at least in a beginning stage. Great trajectory. New love being offered, perhaps new love being offered within yourself. Happiness is a decision I must make, says the Course in Miracles. And interesting, not a choice, but a decision that I must make. And remember, ultimately what you are being tasked with here is how to make the choice that is both loving and wise, right? I do this a lot. People like this. I'm pretty sure I learned this from Carolyn Mace, Anatomy of the Spirit. But how do I make wise, loving, empowered choices and decisions, right? How do I bring the head and the heart, the masculine and the feminine, in alignment with my will, so that I can express free will, knowing that my choices determine how brightly I shine. Last card down, we'll wrap this puppy up for you. We are going to use your last card down as the Whispers of Love Oracle, which I love this thing. There are no real womp-womp cards in it. That's a start. But also they can read you for filth a little bit, depending. So the voices of the higher selves of all involved, not just your own, anybody else involved here, all coming together to get one card for you. Breathe. Yeah, I feel like if you're having to choose between people, you gotta choose you. But, you know, to each their own. The higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love, August 2020 or timeless. What do you got for them? Put the dot on this I, cross this T. What is your point of view, the whisper of love for the Taurus collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, I can feel it, I can feel it. August 2020 or timeless. Appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. This is a learning curve for you. This is really, I'm telling you, Taurus, you're being given permission to just, I'm not going to say be stubborn or obstinate if those aren't the words you like, but to be single-pointed, focused, and chill. Appreciate. Look at what you do have. And I know it sounds cliche. Appreciate what you have, right? Abraham Hicks' rampage of appreciation yourself into a dimension if you like, but it's not even about speeding up. It feels like things are going to pick up soon, right? You've got this victory card, but what you're having victory over, I sense, is this trick going on inside of you that, by the way, I don't feel like you did anything wrong. Like, whether this is something from your early childhood or a past life or whatever, it's what you needed to learn at the time. And they keep giving me this metaphor. It's a little repetitive. There are certain boundaries that we learn. Like, for a 4-year-old, don't talk to strangers. It's genius and safe and perfect. For a 44-year-old, it's not great, right? So there might be some fears in place here that the gods are trying to trick you out of. And I tell you, with the Ace of Cups, that's really lovely. That's a lovely outcome. So appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. And I would say that's really what's going on for you here. So let me pop up the picture and we'll see what else connects. Nice deep breath. Magic clap. Because we start you off, my Taurians, with the angel of support. So really, don't forget to call on that. I would really do that every day. Just like in the morning for 2 minutes, I call upon the angels of support. Please be with me. Guide me through this day. I'll do my best. Thanks a lot. Check in later. Ciao. So mote it be. Hallelujah. Praise God, pass the ammunition, whatever it is you say. And then get from that place with that support that you can really work this mantra for expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine, which does make sense because you are represented as you in the first card down, that Mother of Pentacles, the Taurus card there. And what's crossing you is a life-changing decision, trying to get the head and heart. And look, take your time, right? Appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. Well, your second card here, your second position would be the cross, the situation. So what you have here is the opportunity to grow and find love But what's in contradiction to that, or at least adding a tricky element to the stew, is the card of the trickster, the coyote woman, that there might be some interior sabotage. Maybe you were sabotaged, maybe you were sabotaging to yourself or another, or it could just be that this is such an important life-changing decision. Really, the saboteur archetype comes into play when there's a major life-changing decision about, do we empower ourselves and others, and how do we do that? Remember, it's all for the learning. You have the learner in your 9th position of destiny. So, get that this is an internal thing. This could be a family thing, right? This could be an ancestral lineage thing, but it's in your core, your subconscious. It might not be something you're readily aware of, and that's why don't beat yourself up on this at all, because you've actually done the 8 of Cups, right? That's in your past here. That's what's behind you. You've already pulled back. You've already withdrawn. You've already gone within. If you're watching a reading, you're looking for guidance and grace from external sources that match your own internal sources, but because there's this tricky thing going on at your core, that's why the extra support from the angels. This really makes sense. Worry not, my darlings. You've got the 7 of Flames victory on the crown. So it's coming. And I'm not talking weeks and weeks and weeks. It's like, this is a spirit thing. This is about moving forward, a jumping over a hurdle, maybe even the alchemization of a chunk of your own saboteur archetype from lead to gold. Here, we all have to do it. It's a survival family archetype. But even as you do that, it almost launches you into a whole new series of mental things. Like, oh, great, new things to contemplate and think about. But also remember, appreciate this moment. Each and every situation has an opportunity to grow and find love. So you are definitely growing and learning and understanding perhaps thoughts. And they're giving me the word melange. It's a blend of spiritual truisms that maybe aren't as true as they used to be, the toxicity of the well-meaning, people who love you and care about you that are just really supposed to be stirring things up for you a little bit here so that you will consider them. But you remember that this is about the changing of your mind in a more healthier direction, a clearing of your mind. Be in the center. Watch the thoughts go by, because this is a learning curve for you. This could be an inundation of so much information, both externally and internally. Maybe you have a clairvoyant skill that's activating or active, right? How do I know you're not a reader? You could totally be getting all this information, and it feels like a hurricane. But your lesson here, I love this, the 10 of Flames, the Hora, your lesson here, the gods are trying to teach you how to kind of wrap this thing up in a very successful way, one that's maybe even celebratory. This could be the completion of a pattern, a healing of a pattern that finally allows you to create that 10 of Flames, manifesting what it is that you truly want for your well-being and for the well-being of all. Although from the outside looking in, man, you are walking an intuitive path. This is a tricky thing with the moon, because you really can't see. You don't have all the data. You don't have all the solidity that you want, and yet you are being supported by the angels, and you only have to really... I'm not saying that you're not to make this life-changing decision, but it's almost like you have to break it down into smaller choices for right now, because you can't see too far ahead, but you allow those choices to be in alignment with your soul, with your intuition, doing the best that you can, looking at yourself at where you are, the 9th position here, the Ace of Pentacles, the learner, that you are a learner here. Please be gentle with yourself. It's really like screaming at an infant for not understanding, I don't know, Latin, right? Pick your thing that's hard to learn when it's not something you're inborn with. I mean, if baby comes out speaking Latin, no. None of us are born wired that way, except maybe some people. So just really get that this is learning through experience. This is not purely mental. Which, by the way, kind of would offset that 5 of Blades in your 6th position, what's before you on the path to good. I'm on a learning curve. And because you've got that 8 of Cups behind you here, you've got 2 8s. I like that, actually. That's some nice stability there, and of course the support is there for you to do it. You really say, no, I don't have to make this decision right now until I'm absolutely ready. It's not that I don't want to make the decision, I just want to make the decision that what? Brings me happiness, right? The 1 of Cups. So there might be, like I said, other people who want to sway what it is that you're doing to make them happy. That may not be about you being happy, but path of true love, darling, particularly with the Taurus card, and you're a Taurus, your first card down, you've got to make yourself happy here. And I don't think this is about you being narcissistic. I think this is about you really growing, learning, and evolving, and expressing your free will, your choices determining how brightly you shine. Which I get that appreciate this moment card, because you really are being taught something. It feels like moment by moment by moment. So don't worry about the grandiose decision down the road, really, that you're faced with now. There's still going to be a lot more going on, so you can still chunk it. You can take it in chunks. Your choices determining how brightly you shine. So wow, that was a lot, but it was a really, really good reading, and it does make sense to me. So may the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love for August 2020, or timeless, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may discover the support that they need, expressing their free will, their choices determining how brightly they shine, and appreciating the moment step by step, allowing each situation to be an opportunity to grow and find love, perhaps even within themselves, for the well-being of all. So would it be. And so it is, my Taurians. I love you guys so much. Again, please do consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and commenting if you are new. And if you're not, follow along. The best is yet to come. Why? Because I'm on a learning, healing journey. And as a Virgo earth sign, Virgo power, you know I'll get there. And then I'll start a whole new one. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of it all, my darlings. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.